Hi and welcome to Bullmasters Football. I am joined to my right by Coach Kaya, and we'll be going through the Premier League fixtures week one. The first fixture, sorry, I should say, was Friday. Obviously, we watched the Arsenal game together.
Yep.
What did you think of the game?
First half, very dominant in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah,
Second half, I think we allowed them to wake up a little bit,
yeah. I
in which
agree.
we sat back and then obviously Palace attacked.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think other than that, I think we had a decent first game.
Yeah, I was quite impressed. I was quite impressed with the first 15 minutes. I thought the way that we came out the blocks. To be honest, with you, I was a bit surprised that we didn't get as many as many more chances as we created in that time span.
Yeah,
I really liked the way that Jesus was up top at the
mm.
back, absolutely solid. I think Ben White. I think he's like his natural position
Yeah,
has
kept Zaha
kept
quiet.
Zaha, and it's very hard to do to keep
Yeah,
Zaha quiet for 90 minutes. I thought Saliba was again deserving man of the match.
yeah.
I liked the way that Gabriel and him were solid at the back. Zinchenko, I like he's quite solid spraying it out from his side.
At first, it was a little bit,
Shaky, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but I think we have to give props to Ramsdale as well.
Yes, yes, he made
He
that save.
saved us
Yeah, he
three,
did.
four
He did. I,
times.
I, I agree with that. I thought it was amazing with that. I do like Xhaka in that, and
Yeah,
obviously in that midfield with Partey. I still feel that we need to sign another midfielder
yeah, same.
in between now and the transfer window closes. I know. Again, all this talk about Tillemans. I think we really do need to get that deal done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I was very very impressed with that coming away from that, and I know that from a few Arsenal fans, they were also hopeful of it because it's very hard for them to anyone to go to Selhurst Park and come away with 3 points, and I thought we was
Clean
dominant.
sheet as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought not to say that they didn't have any chances; they did have some chances in
Mm.
that game, but I thought that we were we took our chances quite well. I thought Martinelli, I think he missed that chance.
Yeah.
Jesus as well. I think he could have.
Odegaard with that,
Odegaard, sorry, that
he,
was the
he
one.
was
Odegaard, that one.
clear. I don't know why he didn't shoot.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, going into the Leicester game, I'm quite confident.
Yes, yeah.
I just hope that we can build from that and
Mhm.
you know push forward and get another 3 points.
Yeah,
For Liverpool, that was the lunchtime kickoff
yeah.
at on the Saturday. How do you feel that went?
Quite surprised actually
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I went for a 4-0 Liverpool.
yeah.
I
I did
remember,
myself.
and Fulham, they as soon as the first kick was played, they were on it
Yeah.
straight on Liverpool. Liverpool at the back were very shaky, but I think especially Mitrovic up front,
Yeah,
the way he was holding up play and keeping
yeah,
the way he
yeah,
sent Van Dijk
yeah.
was
Sendage. It was Sendage.
yeah.
Yeah. What I've written down. I thought the Fulham's midfield three,
Yeah,
Reed. I thought him and the other two midfielders in there. I thought they were absolutely amazing.
they didn't stop running.
No,
Didn't
and I
stop.
felt that the pressing from Mitrovic, and then it just filtered through, and it
Mm.
just you could see that midfield there. I think if they can stay fit, I think Fulham can have a great season.
Mm.
The in the first half, I thought Diaz was Liverpool's bright spark in the first
Yeah,
half.
he was dangerous.
I thought he was unlucky when he hit the post.
Mm.
I thought he had quite a few chances. Cabana for Fulham, I really
Yeah,
liked. I really liked him. I thought he'd done really well. Again, he's unlucky he hit the post. But I was very pleased with how Fulham were, and I think as well maybe his opening game. I remember when we played them. I think we beat them 4-0 or something like that.
yeah,
And I thought to myself, you ain't got nothing to lose. You just go for it. And I thought
yeah.
that they did, and they were just unlucky to come away with the 3 points. But I think with Liverpool's quality, they were always going to
That
get a.
should, for me, I think Liverpool should win that game.
Yeah, yeah,
With
yeah,
the players and the quality of players they have,
yeah,
they should be outclassing Fulham like it's nothing.
yeah,
But Fulham, I'll be fair, I'll give it to Fulham. They kept up with Liverpool.
yeah. They did. The other guy, obviously Nunes, obviously on his
Yeah,
day, was scoring his debut. I thought he was very good.
he
Always
looks
a
sharp.
threat.
in a shot.
Scored a lovely goal. I thought obviously the exact same attempt he did.
Yeah.
The keeper saved it and he did it, and he was successful in the second go. But again, for me, I thought it was a fantastic game, entertaining game of football for the neutral. But moving on to the next fixture, which was Spurs Southampton. How did you feel that game went?
I think Spurs look very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people are overreacting it a little bit though, because Southampton were just poor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they're not prepared, Southampton. So I think, and Kulusevski, everything came from Kulusevski and Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah.
So I was quite impressed with Spurs. I'll give it to them.
Yeah, I thought, very good finish from Ward-Prowse. Volleyed it into the ground. It bounced up. I like the assist from Kulusevski, as you said. I thought it was a fantastic finish. I thought even Song's cross into Dyer, fantastic header as well. And I just thought Kulusevski was just an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Never a moment's rest for the Southampton back four. I thought he was just picking up pockets of space. He looked like he had a free roll at times. He was hugging the touchline, then he was just coming tucking in a little bit. I thought he played some lovely balls through, and I thought I noticed a couple of the balls that he played through to Sessegnon. I thought there was another one that he played, and he just Sessegnon just went wide, and I thought for me he was their bright spark, and I think going forward, I think you can see how he would keep Richarlison out. So I think Richarlison, the new signing, I think he's got a lot of
fighting to do.
To get his place. Yeah. How do you think the Newcastle game went?
I was a little bit surprised,
Yeah.
with Nottingham Forest. I expected a bit more from them, considering they made 11 signings.
Yeah.
It was a little bit disappointing from them, but you have to give it to Newcastle. They straight from the off, they were on it.
Yeah.
Fabian Schär hit strike.
Oh,
no one is saving that.
That was a rocket.
No one is saving
that. Was a rocket. I think from where he picked it up from, I thought he was given a bit of space, and I think maybe because they've given him a bit of space because they didn't think he was going to be able to shoot from that far out. But he just smashed it like a rocket. I thought the players for me that were a massive threat throughout the game for me was Joe Linton, St. Maximin, Callum Wilson and Joe Willock. I thought they just seemed to have that little bit of energy and really tried to, throughout the game, just didn't give Forest a moment's rest. I was a bit surprised. I thought Jesse Lingard would have turned up.
Yeah.
Again, it's opening. It's his first game. So I think, Forest have brought 11 players. So it's going to take them time to gel and get everyone playing the way Steve Cooper wants to play, because he's a fantastic manager. So I don't necessarily think it's, for Forest fans, there's anything to worry about too much. I think they're going to go ahead and with what they need to do in terms of, they've got the players in, let's gel, let's get some wins under our belts, and let's get organised and win some games. And I think they will do that. I'm not too worried about it, just obviously being the opening game. I think going away to Newcastle opening game is going to be tough for any team.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they there was too much for them. But yeah, what's your predictions on the Wolves Leeds game?
Once again, I mean, obviously it's the opening game, but I think it was still disappointing from Wolves.
Yeah,
very disappointing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say Wolves are bad or good. I'd say that they need to be better. They have a lot of quality players. Pedro Neto was on fire. He was causing a lot of trouble in attack. But then, of course, to give it to Leeds, they were able to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's why they came away with the win. I'm very impressed with Leeds and their signings, actually.
Yeah, I think Pedro Neto was a bright spark, I thought, in that game. I did like Rodrigo's finish as well.
Yeah.
Great finish. I think it's a great result for Leeds, considering that they've lost their two top players, to get a result. I know they played at home, but I think just to get a result, just to get the Leeds fans just, getting them off their back, biding some time.
Yeah.
You could say. I thought for me, who impressed me was Aronson, the American guy. I thought he done really, really well. I know he was unlucky. I think it was a deflection. He obviously didn't score, but I think it should have been given to him. But I was very, very pleased with how they played. I just think that going into the next game and trying to get them to gel. Obviously, it's a new manager as well. I know he hasn't been there that long, so yeah, I was quite pleased with that. What would you think about the Villa Bournemouth game?
I think that's the most extremely disappointing game I've ever watched.
Yeah,
especially from Villa. I mean, I expected. I did say it.
Yeah,
I did say it in my underachievers was Aston Villa, and I think that game says it all really. A newly promoted team versus a team with experience in the Premier League. They made new signings, Aston Villa, good signings as well. Ain't as if they're only no ones. They are very good signings, and Bournemouth just blew them away.
Yeah. I think for me, what I did like was the way that Bournemouth were able just to play, press, and I think they made it uncomfortable for Villa. I think I don't know. Maybe it might be a second season syndrome, possibly, or it's kind of the bubbles kind of burst. But I think with Villa, they're a bit of a their performances aren't as consistent.
Yeah,
they would lose surprisingly, like especially last season. They would just lose surprising games where you think they should have won them. This was a game that I felt that they should have won. So I was more surprised with how easy defensively. I think my worry was defensively. They've conceded 2 goals. The second one was so easy. Like they left the tallest player in the box to get a free header on goal, which to me I thought, wow,
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I just thought the first one was a bit of a scramble in the box, and they ended up Bournemouth ended up latching onto it, and they ended up taking the lead from it. But I just thought to myself, ideally, Gerrard would have his team a bit more set up, a bit more.
That's a game
resilient.
where Villa should turn up.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued to see their next game. I imagine we'll talk about that at some point in the coming weeks in terms of predictions for next results for this coming week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they respond to that loss and how Gerrard's able to get his boys going. Liverpool, not Liverpool, sorry. Chelsea, Everton. How did you get on? How did you feel that game went?
That game was it was like basketball. That game. It came from one side to the other, and it was just constant.
It's a bit boring.
Yeah, I think Chelsea had their chances definitely. I think they're, like I said in the last video, they're definitely missing that striker.
Yeah,
definitely missing that physical presence because Havertz against Tarkowski, who's going to win that. Tarkowski was all over Havertz that game.
Yeah.
Everton, I'm quite shocked by Everton actually. They played quite well.
Yeah, concerning they played. Is it Gordon?
Yeah, he was
very obviously
good.
He's not obviously. I imagine Calvin Lew's injured again. My worry for Everton is the strikers department.
Yeah,
and getting a striker in that is going to be a vocal point, just like effective as Calvin Lew. I think they've got great wide players. I just think they've let go of Rich Arnoldson.
Yeah.
So they need to find a striker from somewhere, because I think if they don't and they're relying on someone as injury prone as Calvin Lew, I think they're going to find themselves in a position where as they were last season. So I would say they definitely need a striker. Chelsea, I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't impose themselves more in the game. I think they're missing a creative midfielder, someone that's going to play balls in, thread balls through for the strikers. So I think for me, Chelsea need to sign a striker and a creative midfielder by the time the transfer window closes.
Yeah,
because if they don't, I think they're going to have quite a tough task of getting the results on the board to climb up the table. So I think that would, for me personally, I think that is a major area that they need to concentrate on between now and then. Imagine Tuchel would have identified some players that he wants to bring in. I know they try to get Rafinha in and a couple of others, I think they need obviously they sold Werner. Is it Werner?
Yeah, Timo Werner.
Timo
Just
Werner.
sold him.
Yeah, they just sold him. So I think now they ain't got anybody.
No.
So they're in desperate need now. So I think I imagine they'll sign someone between now and then.
Well, they have to. I don't think they have a choice.
Hopefully it's not a Banyang.
No.
Everton Brighton.
United Brighton.
So United Brighton. Sorry, where Headham has. So
I don't even know what to say for that game. United were poor.
Yes.
Poor, but at the same time, I have to give it to Brighton. They were on it. Brighton looked very good. Yeah. I think in the midfield, you can see that United they haven't got a presence. They haven't got an identity in midfield. Mm-hmm. They were very poor in midfield. They were getting overrun. Defensively, they looked shaky. Going forward, I wouldn't say they were as bad, but it still wasn't to a level. Brighton, Trossard, Welbeck. You have to give it. Welbeck at his age was causing so much havoc. He was everywhere.
I think for me, it's from what I saw with Tomini and Fred.
Yeah,
I just think for me it's a little bit of a concern because obviously you lost Pogba. You've sold Matic.
Oh yeah.
So you haven't necessarily got somebody else in that can really challenge them for that midfield spot.
Well, what I did see before we started recording that, of course, they bid for Arnautovic, didn't they?
Yes,
and
yes, you did.
They've come to agreement with Rabiot from Juventus.
Right.
Which to me isn't really an improvement.
No.
It's just adding some sort of depth, really.
Depth, yeah. I think that's maybe to replace Matic, possibly. I don't know. I was very surprised with. I know that Fernandes had a chance and he missed it. Blazed it over.
Rashford had a big chance
as well. I was a bit surprised at how defensively poor Man United were. I know they brought Martinez, for 60 million.
Yeah,
and
he gave a pen. So it should have been a pen anyway.
Yeah. So I was a bit surprised about that. Like in terms of like. You've brought him in, obviously you've played him, and I would have thought that you would be a little bit more organised at the back. When you've got pre-season to prepare for that. Yeah. So obviously I know the attacking patterns of play and how well they were moving the ball pre-season was very impressive, but it was just defensively just making that same errors again.
Yeah.
Again, the penalty shout, definitely a penalty. They're lucky to have it even 2-0. I think the guy came back to haunt them again, Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
Absolute beast. I think to considering how much of a presence he was defensively and closing down the ball, I was very, very impressed with how well he did that. Yeah. Eriksen, I thought he was Man United's.
I think he was their best player by far.
Yeah. I thought he things were happening. He was doing. He was doing good things on the ball, and I thought everything what creatively I thought was coming from him.
Yeah.
I was very, very pleased with that. Leicester Brentford. How do you feel that game went?
I think it's the same again. I think it's very like a basketball game. Obviously, Leicester got those 2 goals. They went in front.
Yeah.
But then they instead of killing off the game, they've kind of sat back, let Brentford attack. Obviously, Brentford got those 2 goals, which you have to give it to them, they were quality goals as well.
Yeah.
So you have to give it to them. I just think Leicester should have gone and killed the game.
Yeah.
As soon as they can.
1 second. I'll just pause it. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I think Maddison again. I thought him playing just in a role, more of an advanced role with Vardy. You can see that he was just behind. I quite liked him being in that advanced role. I think the only thing what they could have lacked is where he's a little bit more close to Vardy. He's a little bit away from the midfield, so where they could maybe play that simple passing, Maddison spin, turn into those little pockets and create. I quite like. I was a bit worried now that obviously because I know that we were linked with Arsenal's linked with Tielemans, and obviously Tielemans played. So
it's a wait and see game now. Really.
It's a wait and see game. I just hope between now and then he don't get injured, and that we're able to make that bid and buy him before he gets injured and ends up we don't not end up getting him in the end. So yeah, I thought it was quite a game where I thought Leicester should have won the game.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. But I think that fair play to Brentford for sticking in there and at least getting a point. I think it's not easy place to go and get 3 points or even get a draw even. So I think for them to go down their opening game of the season and get a draw, I think was quite impressive on their part. I do think that Brentford do look good in terms of the way they're playing. I think Ivan Toney, great goal from him. So I think Arsenal's playing them next week.
Yeah.
So again, hopefully they'll play another game like that for us.
Yeah.
I think Leicester are in a little bit of a
bit of a hole, really.
Yeah, because I think there's a load of players that again Maddison's been linked elsewhere. Fofana, Tillemans,
lost Schmeichel,
and as well there's players injured.
Yeah.
So which they've had quite some time now. Players being injured, which has been a big problem for them. And the last fixture, I believe, is the
West Ham Man City.
West Ham Man City. I thought it was going to be quite an interesting game in terms of West Ham being missing, obviously being in Europe. Adding a few quality players to their squads in the transfer market so far. Obviously, City being a force as they are. Haaland, being, their target man. Obviously playing now, I think maybe this season might be this first season in maybe 2 seasons or so that they're playing with an actual target man. I think the last one was maybe Aguero, possibly.
Yeah.
But I think now they're playing with an actual striker, which is going to be, a vocal point for them. You could see it in the way they played, a lot of crosses into the box. And I thought the run from Haaland for his second goal was absolutely sublime. Lovely through ball. And, he just ran. And I thought you could see that the way he took the goal, just the confidence in the way he just struck it past him. I really like that. I just think for me, there's still a long way to go. Yeah. But from what I've saw of him, took his penalty well. I just hope that for their sake, that he does really well, because I really want to see, obviously you've got Jesus at Arsenal, you've got
Sterling now there,
Sterling at Chelsea, Harry Kane and Son at Tottenham. You've got United, obviously they haven't got anyone. Obviously Ronaldo, possibly you could maybe say Rashford or Martial. So far, obviously, I imagine they'll look to sign some players. So there's a lot of strikers out there. Núñez, for Liverpool. So you've got a lot of strikers in the top 6 for me that I would like to see who will come out on top. Yeah. So there's a lot of firepower in the top 6. So yeah, a lot of goals to be scored. So yeah, what was your thoughts on that game?
So as you got a feel for West Ham.
Yeah,
they missed out. Their centre back worries. No Craig Dawson. Their goalkeeper came off. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a great start. Mm-hmm. I think when you back off and sit back against City, you allow them to just come at you.
Yeah,
because when City attack, they attack as a whole team. The whole team moves forward.
Yeah.
Giving Haaland, I think the 2 centre backs should have stuck tight to Haaland.
Yeah, I thought their line was quite high.
Yeah.
But where he was able to turn, spin, and go, I thought when the guy played the ball,
De Bruyne played it for him.
Is it De Bruyne?
Yeah.
When he's played it through now, and the gap that he's had, and one thing with him, he's quick. So if you're giving him that much space in behind, and your keeper's not followed up, to push up along with the back 4,
it's a free chance.
It's a big space, and all it is for someone with De Bruyne's quality, just to thread a ball through. He made it look effortless. Yeah. So fair play to Hangeland. Again, he still had work to do because he had to run onto it and still be able to slot it. So yeah, I was very, very pleased with that. But yeah, again, guys, that's all for this week 1 of the fixtures. Again, we just wanted to bring something new in terms of just bringing a reaction to the results for the weekend. Obviously, unfortunately, Alfie wasn't able to join us today, but we definitely will have him on the top 6 show. And again, a big shout out to all their viewers. Again, if you could just like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated, so that we are able to build the channel. And again, if you would like, please do suggest any of your comments or any of your opinions from from the week 1's fixtures of the Premier League. Please do write your comments down for us.